Ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right, we're live. We're live. Hey guys, this is Jeff here with eBay Addicts. My special guest today is Chris from Daily Refinement. You know what's funny is people ask me, they say, "Hey Jeff, who is it that you're subscribed to? Who do you watch on YouTube? Who are some of the people that you watch and you listen to?" Well, this is one of the guys right here, Chris from Daily Refinement. He lives in California. So if you want to introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about yourself, Chris.
What's up, guys? I live in Oakland, California. My name is Chris. I go by Daily Refinement online. I've been running an online store for 3 years, and it's been awesome. I used to be known as 10K on the Bay. I'm actually considering reopening that channel because my store is growing and growing and growing. So it's been awesome. Thank you very much for taking time to talk to me today.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on the channel. So, first thing I want to ask you is, how is married life, man? Because I saw your photos on your YouTube channel with you and your wife. So, how has it been merging your lifestyle when you're going to be in a bachelor living by yourself with having a family now and trying to, readjust your schedule? How's that been going?
It's been awesome. So before I was married, I lived in a big house by myself. I rented a big house, and then now we purchased a condo. So it's like my income doubled when I got married because
and your expenses went down as well, right? Because you had one household expense instead of two, right? Well, I think we're losing him. Chris, are you there? Chris, Daily Refinement. Hello. Having some technical difficulties. Chris, are you there? Hold on one second. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. Chris? Oh, man. Hey, you're back. You froze up for a second. Are you there?
Is it better?
Yeah, I think you're froze up for a second. There you are. I can see you now. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. We just froze up for a second.
Okay.
All right.
No worries. I was saying married life is awesome. Half the expense. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Chris?
Yeah,
are you
I
there?
can hear you fine. You can't.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. You were just breaking up. All right. Are you there? Chris? Hello?
I'm here. Guys in the chat, can you guys hear me? Because I can hear Jeff.
Okay, I think we're good now. Are you there, Chris?
I'm not sure. I can hear Jeff. Let's see. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. We just froze up for a second.
I guess you can't hear. No worries. My expenses are in half. Being married is awesome. I love it. I love every single part of being married.
Okay. So you've been married now for what? Oh, almost a year now? Hello?
Yep. Almost a year. And it's been great. I love it. I love my wife. It's awesome. We are spending a lot of time together because she's working. It's showing that
Let me see if I can jump out and jump back in. I'll be right back.
Let's see.
All right. Are you good now, Chris?
I think I'm good.
All right,
Can
cool.
you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. Go ahead. I'm sorry. We just had bad internet connection. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm all the way in Florida, and Chris is in California. So, all right. So can you tell people a little bit about yourself? I know you said you're originally from Utah. I can hear you now. Yeah.
I grew up. I was born and raised there. So, I don't really. Utah is a weird place. It's I'm not Mormon, so it was a interesting place to grow up. I loved it there. I definitely needed to leave though, so followed a girl out to California, and I like California, even though it is expensive to live here. I still like it.
Yeah. So you were in Utah, and then you moved. And how long were you in Utah? How many years were you there in Utah?
23 years.
Okay, and then I think you said you used to work as a car salesman. Is that right?
I did. I worked for Lexus of Fremont for 4 years. That was an amazing job. I actually quit because the owner of the company forced me to. He didn't force me to leave, but he said that I would be happier as an entrepreneur. So the owner of the dealership actually financed the company that we started together, but we found out he didn't have any time to put into the business, so I ended up taking it over.
All right, and then so you were in Utah, and then you decided to move to New York for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and how long were you in New York, and what part
were
you in New York? Were you like in New York City, or what part of New York were you in?
Yeah, so my best friend went to Columbia, so we lived in Harlem, New York. So not like in the hood, but it was a little bit of a rougher neighborhood, and that's where I learned about flipping eBay. I learned how to flip sneakers.
Right, and so how long were you in New York City, Chris? Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, almost 4 years.
Oh, 4 years, and then so. I got a couple questions. So what got you into where you're working at a car dealership? You were doing that, and then what got you into reselling? Were you watching YouTube videos? Did you just have a friend that was doing reselling? Or did you like hang out with them, or what got you interested into reselling?
So I was at the car dealership, and then my boss and I started a company that did Facebook. Pokemon Go happened, so all of my Pokemon stuff became super valuable. So
yeah,
I essentially sold all my Pokemon stuff, was looking for more stuff to sell, and I just reached out to different. I just learned about all these different influencers and what they were doing, and I just started from there.
Okay, I just was wondering if it was like one person you ran into, or it was one YouTube video, or what happened. So, Chris, and so what made you decide when you were in New York?
On YouTube.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so when you were in New York, what made you decide to move from New York all the way to California? Because you're in San Francisco area now, right? Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm in Oakland. Yeah, I moved for a girl. I was in New York. I'm here. The weather was really crappy in New York City. I wanted to try a warmer place. I followed a girl out here. That girl's not the girl I ended up marrying, but I loved it. I liked it for a year. You just learn a lot about humans when you're there.
Yeah. So the weather is nice in California, right? I haven't been, but I heard it's nice.
Yeah, the weather is amazing here. Yeah, the weather is outstanding. So, it's like 70 all year.
So, Chris, I don't mean to dig too much in your personal life, but have you and your wife, have you guys sit down and talked about having kids one day? Have you thought about that any, or have you just kind of like, no, we're good. We're just going to be, just have some couple time, just the two of you guys for a while?
No, we're starting the process. We're trying. We're trying. So we're gonna start. I've never really thought about it before, but now we are in the process of trying. So hopefully we can have
Really?
2 in the next 5 years.
2 in 5 years?
I mean,
Wow.
it's not up to me. Hopefully that'll happen. We'll try.
That'd be awesome, man. Well, congratulations in advance for you, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah. Well, in case you guys are wondering, last I checked, Chris, me and him, we have a lot in common. We both drive. We both are in the Bay. He's in San Francisco Bay, and I'm in Tampa Bay. And I think, believe it or not, we both drive Priuses, right? You still drive your Prius?
I love it. It's outside.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, like, what's the odds of that, right? So, and so you've been reselling for 3 years now, right?
Yep.
Yep. And how many eBay stores do you have? You just have 2 eBay stores, or how many do you have? Because I thought I saw one of your videos the other day. It said you had 5. You have 5 now?
5. Yeah, I have 5. I've always had 5.
Man. I didn't know. I thought you just had 2. I don't know. So you have 5 eBay stores. So what can you delve into that a little bit? Like, do you have employees that work for you, and how you go about sourcing to get inventory? Because I know one of your stores you specialize in tennis shoes and sneakers, right?
Yeah. So I have one store that's drop shipping. Okay, so I like the idea of drop shipping because you can do it anywhere in the world, but it's very small and it's just a test. So I like to learn about drop shipping, but I'm not really ready to make it huge, because if you end up getting suspended for drop shipping, it might make all of your accounts get suspended. So I'm not like hardcore on that. It's just something to keep interesting. I have some private label products that I make myself that actually, it's not really private label. I'm selling a private label for somebody. So that is a separate eBay account, just one product. And that's interesting. You don't even need an eBay store when you only have a few items for sale. And then I have 2 liquidation stores. And then I have the one here on YouTube, which is like a mix of thrifting, liquidation. Yeah.
Right. And so what possessed you to say, man, because I have 2 eBay stores. I have one eBay store that I mainly sell DVDs and video games in. I actually went to the pawn shop today and got some DVDs. So I get items, let's say, for 50 cents, and then try to, like, for example, this one today I just picked up at the pawn shop. I just paid 50 cents for it, and it sells on eBay for 20 bucks. So Amazing. What I'm looking for, if I can get a 10x, 20x, 40x on my money, I'll do that all day long, you know? And it's new in the shrink wrap, so I don't have to worry about a customer saying was scratched up or have returns or something like that, you know? So I have 2 eBay stores. Like I said, my main eBay store, I sell DVDs and video games mainly. And then my second eBay store is going to be more like a mixture of everything, almost like a garage sale type of store, you know? Follow?
I follow.
Are you there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been working on. And so what made you come up with the idea of having 5 eBay stores? Because to me, that seems like a lot to keep up with.
Well, I have 4 people helping, so that helps a lot. I don't know. They're just different businesses. That's why I have different setups. Somebody asked my ethnicity.
Right.
My parents are Taiwanese, so Taiwanese, Chinese.
So when you grew up, were your parents, were they entrepreneurs, or did they grow up more of a traditional family, like work 9-to-5 job? How did that go?
My parents were labor class, and then they started a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're an only child, right? You don't have any brothers or sisters or anything?
I have a younger brother.
Chris?
I have one younger sibling, one younger brother.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you were an only child. So you do have siblings, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Do they live with you in California, or do they live elsewhere?
They do. My brother lives in San Diego. I mean, it's pretty far from here. It's like a 7-hour drive. We're in the same state. California's huge, so. But yeah. I do visit him a few. I mean, I visit him usually more often, but right now we're in quarantine. We're not supposed to go anywhere.
Okay, cool. So Chris, how many hours a week do you put into reselling? Because I saw one of your videos recently, and you were talking about, it really kind of resonated with me, and you were telling people, like, if you would just turn your TV off and devote that, instead of sitting in front of the television for 6 hours a day, and devoted some of that time into reselling and into listing items, you said you could make about 50,000 a year. Would you go into that a little bit?
Sure. So I work probably 70 hours a week. And then I spend, let's see, I work about 70 hours a week, and I spend about 30 hours a week with my wife. That's pretty much my entire life. I don't really do anything else. I'm pretty
Really?
boring.
So, well, 70 hours a week, Chris, that'd be about 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. So
Yeah.
you sound kind of like me. It's kind of like eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm usually done around 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. and then I don't work at all. So like, at that time, I'm just done for the day. Because that goes back to what you were saying earlier with do the best you can with what you have. Nothing is ever really done. Like, because when you're working for yourself, there's always things that you could improve, but you have to just turn it off at a certain point. So when I go home, I just usually turn my phone off, plug it in, spend 4 or 5 hours with my wife. We'll go do something. We'll make food, but really not very much TV, because it's okay. Let me back up. Recently, since I got married, we do watch some TV, but before I got married, I never watched TV.
Right. But yeah, I think you saw one of your videos lately and you said, making money and doing business is easy. Hard is trying to balance everything else, trying to eat healthy foods, trying to go to the gym regularly, trying to maintain a healthy relationship with your spouse and your loved ones and your family, because you got to be on top of all of that, instead of just saying, okay, I made 10 grand this month, but then you come home and you don't have a relationship with your family, right?
That's what I think, yes.
Yeah, so you got to kind of have a balance. I mean, I'm with you, man. If it was up to me, if I'm allowed to work 7 days a week, I'm going to do it. I want to try to sneak in some time here and there to try to log in, list items. I was actually listing items right before we went live. I was pulling out some items out of my back seat, listing items. So if I have time, even if I'm at a red light, I'm constantly trying to work and move. Like I said, my goal this year is to get 10,000 items in my main eBay store. And then my second eBay store, they just increased my listing limits because it's a new store. They increased it from 250 to 500. So I'm going to try to max my store out so they'll keep raising up my listing limit. So like I said, I'm constantly trying to work and improve. But like you said, when you come home, you have to be able to turn the switch off and be able to have some time with your family as well, right?
Sorry, the alarm went up in my unit. Yeah. I don't know. I like working, so I don't really feel like I'm at work. This is fun for me.
Hey, so Chris, are you still working as a school teacher right now, or no?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right, I thought that you was.
I'm trying to make. I want to teach online, so I'm making courses like, I want to make courses on like how to exercise, how to do, like, not related to making money. I mean, I'm honestly, after 3 years of talking about making money online, I am tired of talking about it. I would rather teach people how to do something not related to money.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Chris from Daily Refinement, I watched one of his channels, one of his videos lately, and he talked about his 10 streams of income of making money online. I'll link it down below if you haven't seen it. If you want to check out his channel, you should definitely check it out and subscribe. I'm subscribed to Chris's channel, and I try to watch all his videos whenever I can, because he's a wealth of knowledge. We're live right now, so if you guys have any questions you want to ask Chris, drop it in the chat, and I'll see. Well, we'll see if we can go ahead and squeeze it in for you. So, Chris, like I said, if you can elaborate a little bit, and you said, I think it was like, if you spent so many hours a day listening instead of watching TV, you should be able to make an extra 50,000 a year reselling. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Definitely. So, as far as reselling goes, in my opinion, it's going to take, let's just say you can do 5 listings an hour. Okay? This is a listing, whatever. So 100 items a week is going to be 20 hours. Okay?
Right.
So in order to do it part-time, all you have to do, this is also not easy, is you have to be able to order your supply. So
Right, I'll follow you.
you can't make $50,000 a year part time if you have to go find the stuff. You
Yeah.
have to set up some kind of relationship with a supplier, whether it be liquidation or wholesale. Otherwise, you can't do it. You've got to you have to set up a bulk deal, or you will not be able to do it. That's why I think people, when people talk about this online, it's not really a get rich quick thing. It takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time because you have to reinvest capital into building up your inventory for your store to grow, right?
That's right.
So how much of your store, because I think I heard you say that the money that's in your eBay store, you don't touch it. You just reinvest it. You double down and reinvest it back in your eBay store. Is that still correct? Is that how you're running your eBay store?
Yeah, I'm not taking any money out
Chris?
right now. I actually don't plan on taking any money out. I don't even know when. I don't have a time period for when I am going to take the money out.
But what I'm saying is, like, say if you make, let's say you sold a sneaker for $100. Out of that $100, how much of the $100 do you reinvest back in your eBay store to buy more merchandise? Is what I was trying to ask.
Okay, that's a great question. Right now, if I sell a pair of shoes for $100, I usually make about $20. Okay, so
right,
all 20 is going back into new inventory right now.
Okay, cool. And so, do you have a strategy? Do you, I know you have a storage unit. So, your storage unit, you have electricity, you have internet connection there. Tell me a little bit about your storage setup and your storing, the way you store items in your eBay store.
So, it's pretty hard to find a storage unit with power, but I was able to find one. You have to call. I would say like 5% of storage units have power. Okay, so you've got to call and find one. If you find one, there's probably a waiting list. So I had to wait for a couple of months to find one with actual power. I have 800 square feet, so 10 by 80 is my unit. And I have internet hotspot on my phone. That's how I run this. I have 20 gigabytes with T-Mobile.
And you don't have any merchandise, any eBay merchandise at your residence, right? It's all in storage?
None. Yeah, it's all in storage.
And so your storage unit, how close is it? Just right down the street from your house? Like
less than a mile.
5-10 minutes down the road, less than a mile? That's good. And so
I can walk there. Yeah.
Oh, you can walk there? So Chris, I know you said one of your main eBay stores, you have like 5,000 items listed. How many items do you have listed total right now amongst your eBay stores?
Maybe 7,000.
7,000? All right. And so do you have, when you go out, you go out sourcing often? Like, do you go to garage sales and yard sales and estate sales, or what's your like favorite way to go sourcing to get merchandise? I know you have some of it like delivered to you, right?
My favorite is having a scout when they're bringing stuff in is my favorite. So right now, if somebody, like, I just got through looking through a pile of stuff that somebody brought me. I know I'm looking for stuff that sells for $30 or more. So my ideal sourcing is no sourcing. I don't want to do any sourcing. I am going to do some sourcing for fun, but I don't like sourcing for money. So if I'm going to go to a garage sale or a thrift store, I'm mainly doing it for fun. If I had to do it to sell or to make a living, that's too much of a grind. That's too much. For me, it takes the fun out of it, where you have to like go and find a certain amount of things. Also, to give you an idea of something pretty interesting, in my area, there's 9 million people who live here. We only have one pawn shop.
What?
There are no pawn
really?
shops. Yeah, no pawn shops here.
Well, is it because the city like mandates only allows you to have so many in the area? Because I just went to a pawn shop. I'm right across the street from three different pawn shops. There's Platinum Pawn, King of Pawn, and Pawn Max. Like 3 of them right across the street from where I'm at right now. No, so that's crazy to me, man.
Yeah, none.
Really? So, and so Chris, guys, in case you guys are wondering, we're live. Chris has been full-time reselling for 3 years now, right? And so if you guys want to ask Chris a question, drop it in the chat. So, so Chris, I wanted to ask you some more questions, man. When you're out, about your employees, how do you go about hiring employees, and how does your process set up? Do you have employees that are like eBay listers, or do you have people that go and just like or like scouts and go scout merchandise and bring it to you, or how does that work with your employees that you have?
I have people that are full-time shoppers. I have shipper. I have an East Coast location, so in North Carolina, I have another facility that looks like this.
Yeah.
I have people who list, photograph.
Do you list any of the merchandise? Do you list the items yourself, or is you have eBay listers that list it for you?
I use virtual assistants to list.
Okay, so if someone was interested in expanding and hiring an employee, what type of things should they look for if they were going to hire somebody?
That's a great question. Okay, number one is results driven. Okay, so someone that's like, you tell them how many things you want to do, whether it's photographing or listing or whatever. They need to care about the numbers, how many they can do in an hour. So results oriented is number one. Number two is customer oriented. So if they don't care about your customer, you should just get rid of them. You need people who care about the final customer. Like, oh, you know what? If we took a picture of this, it would help the customer know what it is. Or I'm listing. Oh, if I don't mention this, that's bad for the customer. So I would take somebody who's customer oriented. That's the number one quality you can get in a person. If that person's a little bit slower, that's fine, because you're going to have less returns. You're going to do a better job. Your sell-through rate's going to be higher. So always pick the person that cares about customers first. That's the number one quality the person can have.
Right. We got a question in the chat, Chris. They wanted to know, would you pay your employees per item, or do you pay them so much money per hour? I'm just asking. We had Mr. Biselot on Wednesday, and he said he pays his employees like 50 cents per item on average. So he has a guy that will list 200 items for him in a day, and he'll pay him $100 cash. So do you have something set up like that? Hey, Jennifer. Hey, guys in the chat.
So as far as my as far as mine goes, because I'm over $600 with everyone that I'm working with, so I can't pay cash anymore. So I'm invoiced. Everyone that works for me is an independent contractor, and they bill me either hourly or per piece. It depends on what they do. So, but there's no, I don't exchange cash anymore, because everyone that's worked with me has been working with me for a long time.
Okay, cool. And so, so you have how many employees you have? You have 5 employees total?
I guess I have 4 contractors that are full-time.
Yeah.
And then probably a dozen people who shop for me.
And how many items do they list in your store usually per day or per week? Like, I think I saw your video the other day, and you said that you wanted to own your eBay business and have it make you about $5,000 a month or a week in sales, or was it a month? I'm trying to remember. Well, can you elaborate a little bit on that, Chris? Like your goal for your eBay business?
Right now, 30 to 60 a day new items go into the store.
Uh-huh.
I have about 80 sales a day because I have some replenishables in my other stores that sell without me doing anything. And sorry about that. So 30 to 60 new items go into my store every day, but I'm going to change that to 200 per day.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if you were making 80 sales a day and you're listing 60, your numbers would start going down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's some items that I have, like, okay, of the other 2,700 items that are not in the public store that I share on YouTube, some of those items I have 100 of.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'm going to let you. I wanted to ask you some questions about replenishables, but I wanted you to finish your thought with this. So when you're trying to expand, and let's say someone's goal is to get to $10,000 a month in eBay sales, and right now they're at like 2,000. What it would be like? I'm trying to figure out what would be like 3 good tips that you could give somebody who's just starting, or they're trying to expand, and they're trying to go from, let's say, $2,000 a month gross sales to like 10,000 a month.
Okay, that's a good question. So they're going from 2 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we talking about net or gross?
Gross sales.
Okay, so going from 2K to 10K gross, I'm gonna give a couple of examples.
Go ahead.
One, I would try to get to 4K net Okay, that's $1,000 a week net. That's $50K a year. Okay, you can do that without replenishables. Okay,
Okay.
so this is just finding 100 items a week. 100 items a week at $10 profit is $4K a month. So
Right.
pretty straightforward numbers for people who are listening. 100 sold items at $10 profit a piece. That's $4K a month and $50K a year. Okay, so I recommend you do that before you try to do replenishables, because replenishables is expensive.
Yeah, the margins are smaller instead of doing the one-off items, right?
Yeah, I have a replenishable that sells every day for $12 free shipping, and my cost is $2.
Yeah, but that's
And it,
before they take out your eBay fees and PayPal fees and shipping costs, right?
and it ships in a padded flat rate envelope.
Right.
Okay, that's not much money left. Right?
So you shipping first class?
I can't with that item.
Okay, that's why I'm just.
No, but I'm just giving you an example, because people think that replenishables are amazing, kind of amazing, but sometimes they don't make very much money.
Yeah. But go ahead. We're still talking about like your top 3 tips for someone that's going from $2,000 a month. They want to get to 10 grand a month in sales. So we're here, guys. I'm sorry, we're live with Chris from Daily Refinement, and I really do appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, and for Chris stopping by today. I really do appreciate it. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I didn't know. I thought I lost you for a second. So I was going to say your 3 tips from someone that's trying to grow from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month in sales on their eBay store. I mean, should they be outsourcing every day? Should they focus more on listing? Should they focus on reinvesting and expanding their store? Like, which of those things is like your top priority when you're trying to expand and grow your eBay business?
Okay, so first tip is get to 100 items a week, right? So the way to do that is to niche down. If you narrow down what you're looking for, it's easier to find out where it comes from. Let's use vinegar as an example. Vinegar is something that sells thousands of times every single day, right?
Right.
So
yeah, I'm with you.
You could research all the different vinegars at every single grocery store. You've decided vinegar is what I'm going to sell. Go to every single grocery store and find out what every grocery store sells it for. Find out what it's selling for online. Then look on the bottle and see who distributes the vinegar, right? Then add that to your listing. Let's say $12 free shipping, $13 free shipping. The same vinegar is probably like $5 at the grocery store, but online they have to charge for shipping, so it costs more. The more you narrow down your niche, the easier it is to start building up your business, because when you sell everything, it's too hard.
Yeah, so you're saying just be a master in one domain in one area, and then later, if you want to expand later, you can, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so that's one. And what's the other 2 tips you could think of that we're trying to help somebody go from $2 grand to 10 grand a month in eBay sales?
Get your listing to under 10. Get your listing to under 10 minutes an item.
Okay,
that's huge. Okay. And the way to do that is to make dedicated areas for every single thing that you do. So this area is where you ship. This area is where you store stuff. This area is where you store unlisted stuff. Once you have different areas, it's going to save you a lot of time. That's the main key.
Yeah. So you're saying be organized. And what would be your other 3rd tip be for someone who's trying to get there? They're trying to grow. They're trying to expand.
Networking.
That what I was going to say is build relationships. So it's like we're on the same wavelength. So yeah, so networking. Yeah. Go ahead. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Like, where do they go to do networking? Should they go to eBay events, or where do they meet these people at?
So it depends on what you're trying to do. For example, for me and you, it makes sense to network because we're both on YouTube and talking about different things. But for the normal person, talking to a YouTuber is not really that useful. You need to talk to people who sell what you're selling. So you need to go there. You need to be nice. You need to dress professional. You need to ask people a lot of questions. I would say that's the number one thing. How's it going? How's it going, Jeff? What do you do for a living? What do you struggle with at work? What's going great at work? What's not working? Just get to know somebody and try to see if you can help them. You don't even think about yourself, because if you can help them, they'll help you. That's how I look at relationships.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to give before you take. You don't want to come out there with your hand out and say, "Hey, give me,
No.
give me, give me, give me, give me." I'm sure they got enough of those people around, right?
That's right. You don't even have
Chris,
to.
are you
You
there?
don't even have to take it all. Yeah, you don't have to take it all.
Right. Yeah. You just want to hang out and kind of be like a fly on the wall and learn and gain information and figure out processes. You want to figure out sources where you can get inventory and all that. So, Chris, how has your sales been lately, the past month or so, or this past couple months with this whole pandemic thing has been going on? It's been up and down, or has it been pretty steady, or how's it been going for you?
I had the biggest Q2 I've ever had. So when the pandemic happened, the first 3 months, that's the busiest I've ever been.
Really?
The last couple of months, though, it's been just the same as last year.
Yeah. So what is your plans for prepping for the fourth quarter coming up? We got Christmas around the corner, but do you have any plans to gear up for that? Are you sourcing different? Are you listing any different? Or what's your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. So somebody in the chat is asking about what Q2 means. Q2 is the second quarter of the year. So April, May, June. April, May, June was the biggest April, May, June I've ever had in 3 years. And then what am I doing differently? Right now, sales are way down compared to those 3 months, but they're the same or better than last year at this same time. So what I'm doing is I'm just staying patient. I'm not lowering my prices. I'm just listing as much stuff as possible because I know it's all going to sell when people start working again.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm right now, my goal is I'm trying to get 100 items listed a day. But like I said, I'm also working 7 days a week, and I'm trying to produce YouTube content. So, you have to kind of balance it, almost like give yourself a schedule, kind of work on the whole time management thing. So, Chris, I got another question for you. I feel like there's a lot of people, they have the head knowledge and they know what to do as far as sourcing and listing and shipping, but they're just not motivated. They just wake up and they're just not motivated. And then there's some days where you just feel like, man, I just want to quit and give up. What would you say to those people who are just having bad, either A, they're not motivated, or B, they're thinking about quitting this reselling game? What would your advice would you give to those people?
I don't know if it's your connection or my connection. Your connection is a little bit weak, but I did hear the question. For me, I would say that to stay motivated, you just need to think about what you have. So, earlier in the chat, we said, do the best you can with what you have. So when people start thinking about what they don't have, they lose all of their motivation. Okay, maybe they don't have the nice car they want. They don't have the nice house they want. They don't have the whatever, right? That's going to kill your day. You're going to be feeling unmotivated. You're not going to want to do anything because there's so much stuff you can have more, right? So you've got to think about what you do have. Be grateful that maybe you're still healthy. Be grateful that you can source online still. Be grateful that you can watch YouTube, right? Then just think about what you do have. Focus on that, and that's going to help you do the best because, again, people lose motivation when they start thinking about things they don't have.
Well, my thing is that tomorrow is always going to be another day. So if you're having a bad day or you're having a bad week, just take a shower, grab you something to eat, and call it a night. Tomorrow will be another day. Like sometimes I have occasionally get these migraine headaches, and sometimes I just can't beat it, So I'm just like, all right, I did everything I could do. I've tried to take medication and make it go away. I grabbed something to eat. I took a shower. I tried to go for a walk. I tried to exercise, and it wouldn't go away. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to call it a night. Tomorrow is another day. We can start new again tomorrow,
That's great advice.
Yeah, because you're not going to feel 100% all the time. You're going to have up days, you're going to have down days, and tomorrow's a new day. If you're dragging butt, things aren't working out for you, you can wake up tomorrow. And what my big thing is, give yourself some goals. And I have a little notebook. I have a notebook right here, and what I do is you can see it's full of things. I have a notebook and I write things down. So when the next day when it comes up, I have an attack plan of what I need to get done the next day, right? So you want to have a goal and say, okay, my goal, let's say today is to list 50 items. Then what I do is I have my items set out in stacks of 10. So I go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And then what I'll do is maybe I'll list 30 items and then I'll get up and take a break, and maybe go for a walk or do laundry or grab something to eat, cook dinner or whatever, and then come back and list another 20 more items. Does that make sense?
That's great. That's great advice.
Chris, are you there? Yeah. So do you have any, because we only got Chris for like 5 more minutes. So do you have any more closing advice that you want to give some people that are watching? Can you give us because you've been on reselling for 3 years, give us your top 2 or 3 tips that could help somebody watching right now to help them with their eBay business before we let you go, Chris.
Top 3 pieces of advice. I would say start small, sell stuff around the house. Ask your friends and family for things that they don't need. That's going to be the key for someone just getting started. Also, I would say write down what you're actually doing. Write down your whole process. I write down all the things that I do every single day in a book. So I just keep a notebook of the things that I do. Right?
That's funny.
So
I have a notebook.
Yeah, everyone should have a notebook.
That's funny. Well, even though we're on the other side of the country, we both have notebooks.
Yeah, so I just put here,
go ahead.
You can't do it alone, is what I wrote down today.
Right. I'm with you. And so what you said, right, and what would be your third tip, Chris?
My third tip would be to smash the like button on your channel. And then definitely just, I would say this is going to be a different advice that maybe people don't talk about, but plan a vacation.
Yeah.
Plan a 1 week vacation. And that way you have something to look forward to. And you gotta get in gear and get it all done so that you can get it done before then.
Right. And one more question I want to ask you, Chris. Would you recommend someone sticking to one platform instead of jumping around? Let's say they're doing well on eBay and they're like, man, I have the shiny object syndrome. I want to try Amazon or I want to try Poshmark. Do you think they should try to master one area before they jump to another one?
Yeah, one at a time.
I can't hear you. Do you say yeah?
Yeah, one at a time.
Chris? Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. When I met Rally Roots, we were down there at eBay up front. Some people were asking them, and they were saying, "Hey, man, I want to jump. I want to go I want to do Macari. I want to do Poshmark. I want to do Amazon." And Ryan just stopped and looked at him and said, "Man, do you know, I was doing over 10 grand a month on eBay before I jumped to any other platform." So he's like, just keep where you're at. Keep lockdown on where you're at and focus on that. Keep your eye on the prize. And once you master that one niche, that one platform you're on, then jump to another platform. Does that make sense? Anyways, thanks for, I want to thanks for you guys for hanging out with me today on the live stream. I want to thank Chris. Hey, Chris, man, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out with us. I definitely would like to have you back on sometime soon. Is that cool with you?
That's cool. Have a good one, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, guys. You guys have a great night. Peace out. Oh, yeah. Subscribe to Daily Refinement channel. Go to his channel and subscribe. Link will be down below. Subscribe.
Thanks, guys.